So I'm going to play a little clip.
My name is Naledi Pandor, and I'm the South African Minister of International Relations and Cooperation. I wish to begin by thanking the judges of the International Court of Justice for dealing with this matter expeditiously. Given the urgency of the need to protect innocent civilians in Palestine and to ensure that the harm that South Africa has referred to in the case it brought before the ICJ, that harm is addressed and that people's lives are saved. The saving of life is not merely with respect to having a ceasefire, it's to ensuring that humanitarian aid is provided to those who need support, as well as ensuring that the State of Israel, which is currently the occupier and administrator in Palestine, provides the necessary basic services that the residents of Gaza and the West Bank require. This case was very much about international bodies ensuring that they exercise their responsibility to protect us all as global citizens. All member states of the United Nations have attached their signatures to a range of instruments. But when lives are threatened, these instruments are not brought to bear. And South Africa had the view that we could not stand idly by and continue to observe the killing of thousands of Palestinian citizens who had no role in the awful act of hostage-taking and killing that was done by Hamas. And therefore, we thought it important that we do report and apply to the International Court of Justice that the measures provided within the Convention for the Punishment and Prevention of Genocide are brought to bear, and that the State of Israel is called upon by the judges to act to protect civilians and to end the massive level of harm that we have seen since the Israeli action began. And we agree entirely with the judges that Hamas should release the hostages that they're currently holding. We also, in our various engagements with our partners internationally, believe the moment is now ripe for there to be negotiations for a two-state solution to end this conflict decisively.
Minister, are you disappointed there isn't a ceasefire? Are you disappointed the court?
I believe that in exercising the order, there would have to be a ceasefire. Without it, the order doesn't actually work. I would have wanted a ceasefire.
They didn't specifically call
No, they didn't.
Are you disappointed
But how?
that they didn't specify that?
I have no way that I'm going to say I'm disappointed. I hoped for it, but the fact of delivering humanitarian aid, the fact of taking measures that reduce the levels of harm against persons who have no role in what Israel is combating, for me, requires a ceasefire. And I believe Israel would have to attend to how it conducts its search for the hostages and for those Hamas individuals who carried out the October 7 attack.
What's the next step?
I believe that the court judgment needs to be read very, very carefully. They've given very, very direct instructions. We are satisfied that the provisional measures that we sought to be addressed would be addressed by the court. And I believe if you read the convention very carefully, the matter of how a war or conflict is conducted is not elaborated. I would have wanted that the word cessation is included in the judgment. But I'm satisfied with the directives that have been given. And in particular, I was concerned as the president of the court was reading the order that reference wasn't being made to a report, because the reporting is absolutely imperative. The monitoring of action in terms of the order is vital. And so for the fact that a monthly report, a report within 1 month of this date, has been ordered is, I believe, very significant.
What do you say to Germany and the United States who have called this case meritless?
Well, the fact that the court says, remember that today we're not deciding about the allegation of genocide. What we're dealing with are the provisional measures. It's clear that the court does say circumstances exist where it is plausible that genocidal acts have been committed. This, of course, means once the merit case is addressed, and if the finding is that there has been genocide, those states that have aided and abetted become a party to commission of an infringement in terms of the convention.
Do you think Israel will conform to the orders laid down by the court today?
I've never really been hopeful about Israel, but Israel has very powerful friends who I hope will advise Israel that they should act in terms of the order.
Would you say, what does it say about Israel as a country and a government and a military?
I think that's for you and the public to decide. What we've said is, here's an international instrument, let us bring it into operation, and let's stop being observers of significant harm. Let's act, and South Africa has acted. And what the court has actually indicated is that this convention is being brought to life in a very practical way. And I now think what we want is that the member states of the United Nations must oversee the process and ensure that we create a basis for a global community in which a resort to arms is no longer easy. A resort to abuse is no longer easy, and that more effort is now directed toward negotiation and toward seeking peaceful means of ending conflict.
And do you think Hamas behaved genocidally?
In relations with Israel?
Well, as far as I understand the convention, states are members, states are signatories, and you bring actions with reference to states, not to particular groups.
But has Hamas behaved genocidally? Even outside
Well, I believe that what has been done by Hamas is certainly caused great harm, and I do think that the hostages should be freed, and that's what we must focus upon.
Madam Minister,
Okay,
do you
so-
believe that
so-
the
so-
decision of the court will help, let's say, in solving the problem of the Israeli aggression against the Palestinians today, and in the short term maybe can help finding a political solution to the conflict between the Palestinian people and the Israeli occupation?
Well, my hope is that we will begin to move toward a process where substantively a two-state solution is being discussed. The people of Palestine have suffered harm for many, many decades. I don't believe it will end today or tomorrow. But what we've done is a very clear signal has been sent by the court. And it's now a test for the government and people of Israel as to whether they will act in a manner that says all of us must respect international law. Then essentially we are opening up room for all abusers in many conflicts throughout the world. And I think we'll be setting a terrible, terrible precedent. So what we should do, what all of us should do, is call on Israel to act in terms of the decisions.
Hiri, Assalamu alaikum.